Hey, welcome to Creative Block. We're your hosts, VEE
and SEAN, aka Lord Spew. We talk shop with other creatives in animation and comics about things like finding your artistic path or the process of making art while we doodle on a shared canvas.
We asked people on our social medias if they had specific topics they wanted us to discuss, as well as some drawing prompts. If you haven't yet, check out our Patreon and subscribe to our channel.
And you also get access to a cool Discord where you can suggest stuff and talk with other people, other blockheads. Today we have with us a special guest, David C. Smith. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
We're so excited to have you here. We were just like right before recording, we were just talking about that the C is very important.
David C. Smith.
Unfortunately, for someone with the most generic name on earth, because there's, I think, 5 or 6 other Dave Smiths in animation. So, yikes. I mean, I was at Cartoon Network with one while I was a PA, an intern and a PA. So that was wild. But yeah, like I'll get emails for other Dave Smiths, phone calls for other Dave Smiths. Happens a lot. So
wait,
yeah,
really? How often? How often do you?
I mean, not as often anymore. But like, I was at Sony, and there was already another Dave Smith, and so I would get emails like, and I think he was like in accounting. But you know, when I was like a PA on Adventure Time, I got a call that was meant for the other Dave Smith, and he goes, "Hey, Dave, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Oh, nothing much." He goes, "You feel like helping out with us with some boards?" And I was like, "Wow, really?"
Oh my god!
And I was like, and then they eventually caught on, like, "Oh, sorry."
Oh my god, that's such a I mean, especially for someone who's kind of like trying to work their way up into like that's such a letdown. What?
No, but you know what? The other Dave Smith at CN really did pass the Dave Smith torch, because I was on my first like rotation on Flapjack, my first boarding gig, and I was so scared. Like I started smoking cigarettes again. Like I was a wreck. And so I'm in the alley, like furiously smoking, and Dave Smith is there, and he's like, "Hey, so how's it going on the gig?" And I was like, I suck. Everything I do is crap. Nothing I write is funny. And then he just looks at me and goes, "You're going to be just fine." And
Whoa!
I was like, he's like, "If you said everything was going great, I knew you are full of shit."
And then they said, "Dave Smith is fired," and he got fired instead of you on accident. And then you were like, "It finally worked out."
Yeah, no, I love the other Dave Smith. I guess we have to love each other. We're all, we're on the same team.
I love that it's like it can. I mean, I don't know if you can go just neutral about another like person with your exact same name, or if like, because I feel like it has to be all in or all out, like either like a rival and forever, or like your best friend.
Yeah, either you're immediately threatened or they're your brother for life.
Yeah, does one of them? Do you have to assert dominance and be like, "Well, I'm the main one," or just hope that both of you won't? Because the first one to do it ends up being the Dave Smith A or 1, and the other one ends up becoming 2 or other Dave Smith, and then that's a nightmare.
I have enough reverence for that particular Dave Smith that I don't take myself as Dave Smith Prime.
Dave Smith
he will
Prime,
always be
like that.
Dave Smith Prime to me. So, and we have like friends in common and stuff. And I ran into him not that long ago. I have nothing but love for that dude. So,
so you said you were a PA at Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Was that your first gig in animation?
I mean, paying. Yeah, I was a intern for 2 semesters at Cartoon Network. First on the last season of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Ooh, wow.
Which was a real wild time as far as just the state of the Cartoon Network at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
they were on their last season, and I think they aired the entire season during a Thanksgiving break rather than like, I don't know, airing it like a normal show. They were at the start of their big transition to like other shows, and I don't know why they did that, but I interned there, and then I interned in the recording studio the next semester, And that's where I really got to see like how different shows are run. And because, every crew is different, and you get to see, oh, like this is this kind of comedy. This is this kind of comedy. This is an action show. And like, it was really great. But I think the greatest part of, Cartoon Network exists in a very small way now, unfortunately. But at the time when we were in that building on 3rd and Palm, they let the interns pitch at the end of their semester.
Oh yeah. That's right.
That's cool.
I've been to one of those. Those are so cool.
Yeah. And when I was doing it, like, in 2007 or 8, that we did not have to run anything by anyone. We just went.
Whoa.
Like, so it could be literally anything. And on my first intern pitch was when I was on Foster. So, like all these titans to me are sitting in a room, and like I get to pitch to them, and I bombed spectacularly.
Oh no!
Like the biggest bomb of all time. Like
what did you bomb about? What do you mean? What didn't go well?
Like the files weren't like collated correctly. I wrote a song that did not get it was on the wrong file, and I had like a thumb drive. I don't know.
My God.
Also like it just fell extremely flat. And this is like Rob Renzetti, Craig McCracken, Robert Alvarez. Like I don't even know who else. It was just like wow, the worst experience of my life.
The stress
and then
dream.
like come to life. And then like I remember failing miserably, and then Robert Alvarez, who's like a legendary timing director, just comes up to me with his big he has a big like Sam Elliott mustache, and he just comes up to me, well, at least you can draw. And I love that dude.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Yeah,
but it was a great lesson though, because I went for a second semester, and I was like, well, I'm not going to play it safe anymore. I'm going to like do something that I want to do. And my second pitch as an intern.
Do you feel like your first pitch was quote unquote playing it safe? And if you believe so, what was safe about it?
Oh gosh. I was trying to do I was trying to make a pitch for what I thought would be on Cartoon Network at the time.
Gotcha.
Ooh, and what did your old self think that was?
Oh my gosh. I wish I could tell you. It was it was like a family of space boutonniere, like I don't know, like buccaneers or something, and they like there's an R2D2 that's also a stereo, and he talks, and like it was very, very like milk toast. And the thing is, it wasn't that it was bad, it was just not me. Like I'm like I was a Mad Balls kid, a Garbage Pails kid. Like I was a gross out boy, like, so I was not playing to my strengths. So I vowed that the second semester pitch, I was going to do what I want to do. And it went awesome.
That's
like
sick.
It killed.
That's awesome.
And your files worked
God.
this time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, see, I made sure everything worked, and like, yeah, it was great. So like a lot of great lessons. So, but that kind of got me an interview to be a PA on Adventure Time season 1.
Ooh, cool.
Which was great. And I interviewed, I got that gig, and I met like all the people that I would either later work with or get to hang out with later and be friends with. It was a really, really awesome experience. Plus, like that second pitch got the attention of Thurup Van Orman.
Yes.
And he was like, wow, that was great. You should take a board test for the 3rd season of Flapjack. And I was like, yeah, thanks, man. That's very nice. I thought he was just being polite, like, whatever.
Wow.
I'm like, he's just being nice to me, whatever, like, I'm not going to do, honestly, getting a PA job, I was like, production is awesome. Like, I was ready for that to be like my path, and I would have been super happy doing that. I loved being a PA. I was a Johnny on the spot. Like I had like screwdrivers and Tic Tacs, all sorts of stuff in my desk, ready to hand out.
The only person that uses cargo pants for their full capacity of pockets. Like
yeah. Like I was ready. I was way into it. But like he kept asking me, and I was like, yeah, okay, thanks. thanks. Okay, sure. And then he's like, hey, so we got to make a decision tomorrow. I really need that test from you. And I was like, oh, wait, you were serious? So I pulled an all
Oh my
nighter,
God, dude.
Wow.
did the test, like, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
at my desk where I was a PA on Adventure Time, just like 5 o'clock hit. I'm like, all right, time to start boarding my storyboard test. Stayed up all night, handed it in, and thought, well, I don't think anything will come of it, but at least, I did
I
it.
tried. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, I'm like groggy and trying to get my job done that day. And then I go to lunch and I come back and like Thurup's in my cubicle, drawing on a post-it. And I'm like, oh no, what is he drawing? And he was drawing like a thumbs up
Oh,
Oh,
that's
and
so
and to
cute.
let me know that I got thinking. And I was like, whoa. And like it was an incredible, like I'm very, very, very lucky. Because that third season of Flapjack was a shorter season, and
hmm
so there was a spot to like have someone who was untested. Like, I was a PA on the floor below them
hmm
like 1 week ago, and then I got thrust into writing boarding, and it was with like some of the most talented people who are
hmm
still around and the most talented people to like mentor me and usher me into that
Oh my
world.
God,
hmm
that's amazing.
That
Yeah, and
is so cool.
What
yeah,
was
it's
your second pitch? The one that you did well on. Like, I mean, not like, you don't have to do the
no,
whole
no,
thing,
no.
but I'm curious.
I remember this one. So it was called Oh Dieter, and it was about a little German boy named Dieter who moved to the States and then tries to get everyone in his class to come to a party of his. And like they don't like him, and so as he's walking home, a man in a van asks him if he wants some candy, and and then like he takes the candy, trips balls, and then I don't know. There's a callback later with the candy, and all the kids love him again. It was just more. I mean, I don't know if I would pitch that now, but
Well, I don't know how much of a Cartoon Network show that sounds like, but it sounds like it was more you, and that's probably what they're looking for. That's probably what helped the most. Yeah,
yeah, like voice. I had
your
like my
voice.
voice
Yeah.
was in it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hmm
And I was invested in it in a way that was not just like, well, I don't know, the Secret Saturdays are popular right now. Maybe I'll try to make
Yeah,
a
yeah.
thing like the Secret Saturdays.
hmm
So
No,
yeah.
that's awesome. So you ended up going on to Flapjack, like after this all-nighter test that you took. What was going on to Flapjack at the beginning like? Like now you got the thumbs up. What's starting on that as I'm assuming your first like show artist job.
Yeah. Well, actually, I got really lucky even before that because while I was a PA, one of the revisionists on Adventure Time was formerly a character designer on Metalocalypse,
Oh.
and I did a birthday card for my production coordinator of like him getting eaten by zombies because he was a big horror fan and I'm a big horror fan. And then so she saw that and she was like, "Oh, you could totally draw Metalocalypse. Do you want to come to Titmouse with me and see if you can like land that gig?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't have a portfolio. I didn't go to art school. I went to film school for film
hmm
theory."
Oh, film
So I'm like, this is
theory.
very removed from, but I did like draw my friends' storyboards and stuff like that.
hmm
But she's like, "Oh, well, do you have any drawings?" I'm like, I do have a DeviantArt art." So she's like, "Well, just print out a bunch of stuff and just bring it with you." And I was like, "Okay." So I drove to Titmouse, and this is when Titmouse was just like the brick building
Mm-hmm.
on
hmm
Lexington or whatever. And it was like 30 people working there. Like it was still relatively small, or maybe 50, but still
Yeah.
relatively small. And I showed them my drawings. They're like, "Wow, this is great. Here's a test. Like the test is draw a front and a 3/4 of this character. If we like it, we'll give you more work. If not, thanks anyway." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I did it. They liked it, and I was doing freelance character design while being a PA.
Oh,
Um,
cool. Very cool.
yeah, so that was technically my first in, but Flapjack was a new world
Oh.
because it was boarding and writing at the same
hmm
time. which is, a gauntlet.
So hard.
It's so hard. I don't,
Yeah.
it's funny because and maybe we can have this conversation now, but I just had a conversation with some friends recently. They were asking like, hey, what do you think is needed to run a successful board-driven show? And so everybody, all of my friends kind of had like different opinions on it. And so my personal opinion is I think right now the schedules are too tight for board driven, but I don't know. What do you think, Dave? What's
Yes.
like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been on anything board driven in like since, gosh, 2017 when I was
Hmm.
on DreamWorks Home,
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
Adventures with Tip and L. And I think we had a 4 week cycle, maybe a 5 week, but it's always too short because you get around a week to write and thumb everything, and
Hmm.
then you have time to massage it and stuff, but ultimately it's not a lot of time.
It is
Uh,
not.
It's so much. It's so much because, like, okay, so in your experience, Dave, when you're on a board-driven show, do you have
mhm.
any free time to do personal hobbies or like, can you do
Can you
What?
balance your life at all? Yeah. Yeah.
Does sleeping under your desk count?
Is that a hobby?
I guess. Like, gosh, no. I mean, I didn't have a lot of hobbies then anyway, so it's fine. I get like, besides, like, I was still a pretty heavy smoker at the time, so
That's a
I guess,
hobby, I guess.
Hobby.
Yeah.
yeah, like,
I love that Dave's hobbies are smoking and sleeping under the desk.
My
yeah,
hobbies are killing me.
yeah. This was the bad me. I've smartened up since then.
Yeah. But you do have a hobby.
I have
Smoking.
a hobby now.
You have Stop.
How
No more,
dare you?
No.
no more smoking.
No, I quit smoking in 2018.
I'm proud of you.
Oh, wow, awesome, dude. Well, can you tell us how you managed to stop? Because it's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
hard.
totally.
It's
I
so
got
hard.
I got diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, so I had to.
Wow. Okay, that's motivation.
Yeah, no, it's a hell of a motivator.
Whoa.
Oh.
Were you?
Okay, but now we're talking about real hobby and
We're
Yeah,
talking
yeah. I
about
mean,
real hobby,
like,
not smoking.
yeah.
and our patron Puzzle Glum asks, any tips for getting started in woodworking?
Oh my gosh. That's my passion.
Oh,
So, got tips. Make something that you want to make. Don't make something that, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
if so the way I got in was pretty nuts. I had to remove a tree stump from my front yard, so I bought some, like, a tool kit, like, like a circular saw, a reciprocating saw, and blah blah blah, whatever. And I took the stump out successfully, but I was like, well, now I have all these tools. What am I going to do with them? And so I was like, oh, I'll make shelves for my garage, and then failed spectacularly. Like, first internship failure, you know what I mean? Like, like, really really messed up. I didn't know how to
did
use
you
any
use
of
the
the
stump?
tools.
Did you make anything with the stump?
No, that thing was gnarly. I wish that, and it was super heavy. I couldn't if I wanted to.
I was hoping that you would have made a little something out of it, to be honest. I was like, you gotta have like sculpted
Gotta
something
use
from
all
it.
the parts of the animal. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I wish. No, that thing was so gnarly. I did feel really strong when I, like, put it in the trash can, though. But anyway,
Like muscle wise, or
yeah. Like, I took a video of myself and sent it to my wife, and I was like pounding my chest like an idiot. Like, it was a big moment. I'm a small guy, so it's a big deal.
Well, it's like also you're like man versus nature, and you're like, I took that out of the ground.
Yeah. Fuck you, Stump.
I'm overcoming the wilderness. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
So
Um,
funny.
so I was like, well, whatever. I still have these tools, and then I was like talking about it with my parents or something. My mom was like, "Make me a table." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Make me a table."
No
I'm like,
please.
"Okay."
No please involved.
So
Make it.
no. She's like, "Make me a table." So I made a table, and it came out okay. So I was like, "Oh," and I get that. I mean, and I had the itch. So I would say, if you want to get started in woodworking, it's not for everyone. Like, I have a lot of anxiety, and you'd think, like, oh, this a hobby should be something that's calming. Um, I am never more nervous than when I'm woodworking.
Oh, I bet because you can easily like get hurt. Like a lot of people who do woodworking like lose fingers and stuff, right?
Yeah, like the finger losing stuff mostly happens with people who do it like 18 hours a day in
Okay.
shops where they're making like cabinets and then they're just like,
Mm-hmm.
like so I definitely have rules where like I don't woodwork if I'm sleepy or if
Mm-hmm.
I'm under the weather or like all those things and I wear all the PPE. I make sure I wear masks and goggles
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. But I mean, the thing about the anxiety is like and I guess a lot of hobbies are like this, but like the stakes get so high as you progress.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like the
yeah.
more time is invested. I mean, it's like a drawing, like or like a physical drawing or a painting or something, where you're just like, oof, it can get very harrowing because you're
Yeah.
you're invested all these hours and money and wood,
And it's destructive
and
editing. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
Yeah.
have a back save, you don't have a save log, you can't.
No, you just got to do it over again. And
Oh, wow.
it sucks when that happens. And like as soon as you mess up, it's like you question all your life choices. Uh, and like oh, I've taken over the garage and for nothing because this is garbage. But I learn with every project I
Yeah.
do, and it's it's like it's like for me like drawing has like led to this for me personally. Like I really, really, really love woodworking. And what's great is I've found so many kindred spirits in animation that also love to woodwork.
Oh,
So it's
Wow.
neat,
interesting.
like making pals with that, with other people that are into it, and or finding out that someone who I've been pals with for a while, they're also into it. Um, you know, it's
That's
great.
it's funny because you kind of have a career and path of just kind of like rolling with the punches or like doing things, like just how you pitched and you weren't ready, but then you like kind of like went into storyboarding and you weren't quite 100% ready, but you just did it. And I think it's cool to see that you kind of did the woodworking in that same kind of way. It sounds like you're kind of thrown in it. You don't overthink it, but you still kind of like pull through and get like really good. What's
That's
your
like you're
yeah?
so kind. That's the kindest way of
Oh.
saying you're just kind of stupid. And I don't think that's what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm
Okay.
too stupid to know any different. So I just was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna build a table.
Yeah, you're
And
too
then
stupid to know what you're doing as the first time that you're doing it. Like
No, but
I
I
do
think
feel
it's
like that's
like
a little ridiculous. Like no one's expecting you to be an expert when you first try it.
that's what I'm expecting, and I fail miserably every time. But you know what though? It's like if for me the stakes are so high, but then when I make a thing and it comes like I don't know if y'all can relate, but like sanding like a hard edge of wood and seeing it smooth and feeling it, that visceral sense of satisfaction that like I did this, like it
yes.
is incredible. And I think also since we work digitally 99% of the time and the fruits of our labor isn't seen for like a year and right or whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like if it's stuff for animation and stuff, like the immediacy of that of like woodworking is like
If the
spectacular.
internet
Like it's
I
disappears, there's no proof that I've ever drawn. No,
oh
no, I'm
no.
just joking. I'm joking. I have some physical art, but it does make me think of like yeah, you're like making a permanent thing that's like actually real and it's there. It's not pixels.
I do think
Yeah,
the table is cool because so did you end up making the table and is the table like in a room where people like sit around it or whatever
yeah,
like
it's on a balcony at my folks's like retirement condo or whatever. It's great. Um
I think that's cool because it's this thing where it's like it's always there and it's useful, you're like getting actual
yes.
I think that's something really
Hmm.
tangible. Because I was gonna say I was relating to the fact that you were talking about you have something that's immediate in terms of your satisfaction or like the product being done, and I relate to that with for me the web comic that I just recently like finished. It was just like every time I was done with the page, I could just like publish it and everybody would see it right away and they would know I made it, and I think that immediacy in
Yes.
terms of what you just made
Yeah.
is so it's
And then you print it, and
so
then you're holding
nice.
it.
Yeah, that's not that hasn't happened yet, but it's happening.
Yeah,
Oh,
comics are definitely the same vibe. Like making zines or comics,
Yeah.
and then like the act of like folding and stapling them, like
Yes.
it's amazing. It feels great. Like
Yeah.
I'll go to a friend's staple party any day. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
love doing that too. Oh my
yeah.
God. Yeah, I got it. I want to be invited to a staple party. I like stapling other people's zines too. I do my own a lot, but I
where do
like
you
doing other.
guys get? Where do you guys get invites to staple parties?
I mean, I haven't done it in like 15 years or something. So,
You just gotta hang out with other comic artists who also do like small festivals.
And it's
like,
at Staples.
Yeah.
Like you go to the store and people.
yeah. Oh, yeah. After hours Staples parties.
That would be so crazy. There's like a little like subculture, and it's like, I don't know, some kind of a cult, and it's
Yeah.
just like the
I used to work at
underground.
Blockbuster Video, and I would sub at different Blockbusters in the Glendale, Burbank area. And at one of them, we got high on the roof. That was pretty fun. So that's kind of like a Staples party.
Yeah.
Nice. That's sick.
That's so funny. Yeah, I was gonna ask, sorry, we're gonna go back to woodworking because we have a lot more questions about it. But
Oh,
I
cool.
also wanted to ask you, have you pitched show ideas? Like, have you been in development?
No,
Oh
I
no.
haven't. I haven't. I know I've gone so long and never have. Mostly because I've seen so many of my friends and loved ones go through the process, and it seems like so arduous
Yeah.
and so heartbreaking,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And the thing is, like, some people are built for that, and they roll with it, and can just do it like all the time. And they
Mm.
land things or they don't land things, and they're able to bounce back. Like, I don't know if I have the constitution for that, or whatever the word
Mm.
is. The
Mm-hmm.
stomach. I don't know if I have the stomach for that. I really enjoy contributing
Mm-hmm.
to other people's things. Maybe I just don't have confidence in my own ideas. I don't know. I have ideas like flying around in my head, obviously, but like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, oh man, I'll be investing like years of my life into this, and very likely it'll be a thanks but no thanks at any given point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just scary.
it's like gambling
Very
with your
real.
heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's such a great take because I think this is something that probably, let's say, like maybe like our generation is kind of starting to kind of like realize because I feel like people who kind of like came up in animation industry in like 2010-ish and like we've all been like pitching for a while and nothing's happening and everything's a no and it
Yeah.
and it's like like it kind of starts like to settle in like, oh dude, this is way harder than like I thought, and I like that take that you have on it where it's like you've seen people go through it and be like, all right, you know what?
It just seems so heartbreaking, and these are people that are way more talented than me. So I'm like, there's if I know it's like a timing thing as much as anything, but I'm just like, uh, it seems like a rough time. So
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It is a rough time. It's a weird one.
From Money Bean on Patreon, is there anything you haven't done in woodworking yet that is on your to-do list?
oh my gosh, what isn't there? So like I made nightstands for
Mhm.
my bedroom, which is awesome. I'm making a dining room bench right now. I never made a chair before, but for the Gallery Nucleus Adventure Time art show, I made a chair that was shaped like Jake the dog, like so it was
Oh,
Jake the chair.
Whoa, that's so
that's
cool.
sick.
Yeah,
That's
that
a really
was
good idea,
yeah,
also.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Yeah, so I did that. I don't know, like I had a dream of making like a Hobbit house chicken coop,
Oh, that's
uh,
funny.
which would be awesome, but I'd also have to have chickens for that, which I don't have. And I
I
don't
was
know if
gonna ask that. I was
I
gonna
don't.
say chicken.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I live in Glendale. I don't know if chickens are street legal here.
Oh, I feel like. Oh wait, because do you have a yard?
I mean, yeah, enough.
Because I feel like yeah. Well,
I don't
I think
know.
also it was tough recently because of the bird flu and stuff. So you would have
Oh, well,
probably had to like,
Can,
yeah.
can I give you a woodworking mission?
sure.
Um, I I feel like it would be so cool to make one of those desks where there's a secret little switch that has like a drawer, a secret compartment drops out, or like a secret drawer comes out, like using like a pen to activate a
Uh-huh.
magnet or like push a thing. Like I've always been fascinated with those desks and
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
almost like assassin desks or something. I love
Dude,
those,
it's
dude.
so fun. It's so funny that you say that. So like I am like I go on YouTube. I'm on YouTube most days and like it's obviously mostly like woodworker content and what you just said is a whole thing.
I
Uh
bet it's
Yeah,
so hard, but like, yeah, it's like,
of course it would be because it's
yeah.
like why wouldn't you want to do like this is kind of like the pinnacle of woodworking. It's like, ooh, I'm gonna have all these little hide
Yeah.
places in my little cabinets.
Yeah, no, no, it's pretty funny. Although I'll admit, like most woodworking YouTube leans right wing, unfortunately. So a
yeah,
lot of those
yeah.
hidey holes are for like their guns, but they
Of
can't say that on
course.
YouTube. So they say like hiding your candy, and I'm like, but
Drugs?
but a hidey hole is always like a fun thing. So
Mhm. I feel like for some reason, a lot of the content on YouTube. Okay, also huge tangent, but really
yeah,
funny. Because my boyfriend always has YouTube playing. And sometimes he doesn't really quite check what's up on the TV, and so the algorithm just kind of keeps going. And this one day I was just like going down in the kitchen and I saw like the TV was on and I was like, why are you watching like homesteader like trad wife on the he's like I don't know it's just on he was like it's just on
Dude,
he
I
was
watch
like
that stuff too, though. I watch it like all the like build your own fortress survival stuff in the wild, like building your own
all of
survival
this
hut.
stuff.
Like there's people
oh
that,
yeah,
that they just like buy a patch of land and they're like, you can tell that they're like, I'm going off the grid because this government is robbing us blind, and then they go up and they're like trying to like make their own well. Like I watch those videos too. I don't know what it is.
And I feel like, and then I was gonna say, like all of the stuff where it's like grow your own food, I don't know, make your own stuff. Somehow it always ends up like being like right wing for no reason, but it's funny. I was just thinking that it's just funny that it's like the
oh
way
I
of
get it.
things, you know. It's like, all right, even making bread now is like political, I guess.
Yeah. But you know what? Like nothing like woodworking to bring people together because I'll be at Home Depot or something or any hardware store looking for tools or wood and you know all walks of life, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
and when you're sifting through a bin of like 2x4s or whatever, you know, you're all on the same team. So you know, it's just like the most like a guy that would probably be committing a hate crime in any other context. Or something terrible is like, pretty slim pickings. And I'm like, yeah, man, what are you going to do? You know, so like, there's common ground.
Yeah. I think that's nice. I think that's nice to bridge also like, you know.
We
Yeah.
all get splinters.
Yeah.
That's funny. Wait, there's a splinter question, I think. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, on Instagram, stealth check nat 20. How many splinters have you gotten from woodworking?
Uh, Tons. And the thing is, I used to be a giant baby about the tiniest splinter, but now like, I mean, I have some scars. They're not too bad, but like, I had a piece of wood go like through my thumb skin once.
Ooh, ow.
Yeah, no, but I was in it, you know, like the adrenaline was coursing through my body. So it doesn't phase me as much as it used to. I still
Mm.
hate it, but I get splinters all the time. Which probably isn't too smart since I do need to use my hands for work, but it's never been like debilitating or anything.
Mm,
There's less than you think. Less than you think.
that's cool.
Yeah.
HX Superasive on Patreon asks, how does the tactile 3D art of woodworking inform your storyboarding and other 2D art? Do you think it fleshes out your ability to create depth in your work?
Oh,
The people of
wow.
woodworking.
Oh, that's great. And that is a very like thoughtful question, but the answer is not at all. Uh, Unfortunately, I mean, you know what though? Maybe my volumes have really like gotten better since working with wood, but I don't think so. For the most part, like I feel like they're two separate parts of my brain
Mm.
that are working. Although, like in the creation of like, oh, like I want to design a thing out of wood, it does help that I am like a professional board,
Mm-hmm.
artist or whatever. Because when I'm designing something, like I could not use SketchUp to save my life, and I'm sure I could learn it, but once again, I'm a dumb person. Uh, I designed all of my wood things in Photoshop, like
Oh,
or Storyboard Pro, like
that's funny.
yeah, like I mean, like so. I guess in some ways I do get to flex that muscle towards woodworking, but I don't think it works the other way around
Dude,
so much. I guess when I made the Jake chair, that was the only time when those two things kind of like got married,
Mhm.
someday you're gonna get assigned a scene where a carpenter in a storyboard has to make a beautiful desk, and you're gonna
Yes.
be like, I know exactly how this works, and your arm's gonna move by itself, and it's like it's like the orchestral music as you're going. This is your magnum opus board, because it's you're uniting your 3D and 2D art.
I do love when that happens, when like a hobby or a special interest coincides with something that you're asked to make for work. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I know
Yeah.
this. Uh, like uh that's like before wood, I guess that would have been like me and like werewolves or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like oh, a TF? Oh, I'll do a TF.
Yeah,
Yeah, you said you were really into horror earlier in the pod. Like, what are some of your
Oh,
favorite
I
horror
mean, it's
titles?
probably like unhealthy, like mental illness. I don't know. Like I wanted to be a werewolf when I was a child. Like, and I
Okay.
don't mean that as like, like I wanted to be a werewolf. Like I drew a pentagram on my palm. I got in trouble like every day, like
Yeah.
begging. I would stare in a mirror and try to like crack my jaw and like TF. Like I wanted nothing
I
more
will become a
than to,
lycanthrope. Yeah,
yeah,
dude,
yeah, yeah.
that's
I
awesome.
was
I
doing
like that
everything I could.
you didn't do the tail though. You didn't try to do like the
You know what? If I had known about it at the time, I would have.
you would
I did. I'm a child of the '80s. I don't know if those
Yeah,
things existed
Yeah,
back then. I'm
that's
just
if
saying,
you were
true.
like
born in a
I
different
work with what
era,
I.
do you think that you would have become a furry?
Oh, sure, 100%.
Hell
I
yeah.
mean, like I'm not like a card carrying one, but like I'm super pro furry. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, like whatever. You
I
watch
mean,
cartoons with that.
I
You
relate
watch
to
cartoons
this.
with animals. You love those animals. Guess what, buddy? You got a little
Yeah,
furry in you.
I
But
think it's
anyway,
all
yeah,
Robin Hood. Robin Hood, Disney's Robin Hood. It's kind of how it all started. That's my theory. Because it's like these animals,
For
they're
me, it was
real good
Howard the
looking.
Duck.
sick.
Seeing those duck boobs. No, no. Um,
But yeah, like being a werewolf. No, and I relate to that somehow because I spent a lot of my time as a child role playing as a squirrel. I thought I was a
Yeah,
squirrel. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
And I feel like that guided my childhood path of like it's okay to nurture weird feelings, or not
Mhm.
weird feelings, just like uncommon ones. Like I didn't know anyone else at my school that wanted to be a werewolf or whatever. You know, but I
Yeah.
don't know where that one was going. But yeah, horror stuff. Like yeah,
Or
my parents had a very like progressive way of like letting me watch movies. I could watch whatever I wanted as long as I understood where it came from, and I latched onto horror real quickly because like I would watch like a Friday the 13th movie, and like Jason would like run a machete through someone. And then after the movie, my dad and I would sit down and he's like, so do you know how they did that? And I'm like, no, how? And he explained like, well, the blade is retractable. And on the other side of the blade where you can't see it, there's like a little blood pellet so
oh,
that
that's
when they stick it in
cool.
and then that like blew my baby mind. Right. So
mm,
like, so there was a context to it. So I became like super, super into like the craft of like horror movie making, especially, and like how they did a fit. And like I got like for my 5th birthday, I got a VHS of like Michael Jackson's Thriller, and on it was the
Ooh,
making of
yeah.
Thriller. And the making of Thriller, I would watch more than the actual music video because it had all the makeup effects and like the iterations of how they were going to do the transformation sequence for Michael Jackson and the zombie stuff. And like I was so into that stuff. And it's carried on since then for the last
Mhm.
75 years that I've been alive.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So I feel like horror was the most formative thing for me. So that's obviously like that's my bread and butter. Like I feel like by default I will draw things in a gross out way. Like that's my trajectory. Um
Yeah, and it's funny because you ended up in animation even after you went to film theory. Film theory, how would you kind of explain what that is?
I don't know. I don't know. Like God, I couldn't even Jacques Lacan and
Uh-huh.
the mirror or something. It's listen, I it's been what, oh my God, I don't even know how many years. I really went to film school to do film theory so that I could, because that was the program you had to be in to apply for internships. And
Gotcha.
that
Oh,
was a means to an end for me. So I just wanted to apply to internships.
very
Uh,
cool.
and like, I could write a 20-page paper on, and the thing is, my professors were really cool. So I could write a 20-page paper on uh, the politics of Return of the Living Dead,
Mm-hmm.
or
Hmm.
and or all sorts of stuff like that. And so I could like do theory stuff, but then really what I wanted to do is just like get an internship somewhere, get my foot in the door, and then hope that it works out. And like, luckily, I'm really, really lucky that it did. Uh,
But I like that you had a plan. Like you
yeah.
Yeah.
you figured out that plan, and I think that that is awesome because I feel like sometimes I think as like kids we I don't know. I think I personally kind of fell in the trap of like, well, I have to go to animation school to get an animation job, and it's like a very specific path, and I like to hear that there's you don't have to just do this linear path. You can kind of like game it a little bit, and so that's cool. Did you only apply to that internship at Cartoon Network, or did you also have other internships you were looking at?
So I applied to Cartoon Network and I applied to Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and Cartoon Network bit immediately. Uh, and I interviewed with like the line producer from Foster's, and
Mm-hmm.
they liked me well enough, so they brought me on. So like I once again, like, luckiest person on earth. Like that, the first internship I applied for, I got. Um, and it worked out because Nickelodeon did call me like a year and a half later, like, hey, so I'm still interested in
Whoa,
that internship, and I was like, I'm like working at Cartoon Network now.
that's
Like
crazy. A year and a half?
something like that. It was like I was like, oof, this is way after.
That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean, I'm
Especially
sure it's
for Nickelodeon, because I know Disney is notorious for being very slow because it's a huge machine, so
mm-hmm,
it takes a
mm-hmm.
million years for them to kind of make a decision. But
Hmm.
I didn't know Nickelodeon was like that too.
That's my only experience with them. That's like one of the only studios I've never actually worked for. So
Oh,
I would have,
really?
yeah, it just never worked out. I mean, it just never happened.
Yeah, and now who knows whether or not it will because of all the like mergers and whatever. Like,
Right, right.
yeah, I think that's in the news, right? I think we can talk about this. That right now Nickelodeon, they're waiting for a deal with another studio with Skydance, and they're looking for a merger or whatever. And it's been on and off for a while, and then now it's like back on. I don't know. Nobody knows.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Um.
if they get absorbed, maybe they'll actually make something. Maybe
I
they'll
know,
make
right?
some
That's
new shows for once. No, I'm joking. I do think it's been funny. Like, if you look at Nickelodeon's like airing block, it's like 3 shows for 1 billion hours and and nothing new. I think that's so, I mean, so funny, man.
That was also Cartoon Network for a while, where it was just like Teen Titans Go, Gumball, and then whichever other show could manage to get a little bit of airtime.
Yeah. It's like, it's rough.
I mean, it's kind of what, like, I mean, everybody's trying to figure out what to do with cable. Like, cable's is not doing well, so it's like, me, what do we do? What do we do with this thing we still have, and that's not working anymore?
No, that's true. That's true. That's fair.
Yeah. What else? Do
we have another question?
Have another question from Leicester on Newgrounds. What have you learned from woodworking that applies to being a director and artist? Well, we kind of went over that, but I
mean, I guess like patience is a good thing. Patience in the process. But I think I already had to learn that already. Also, I've learned that I could be way more anxious than before a pitch. Than because I'm holding like a blade that's spinning at like 5,000 RPM right next to my face. Why don't you pick
a relaxing hobby?
Dude,
this hobby is stressing you out even more.
I know. I got to start smoking cigarettes again. That was way more relaxing.
That's way more relaxing. I do want to kind of talk a little bit about directing, because you've been directing for a bit now, and what's your philosophy? Your as a director, how do you approach directing?
I think collaboration is the most important thing. It's very, very corny, very, very corny, but I really do believe in the 3 E's.
I'm gonna write them down.
Oh my god, this is my own little dumb thing. Energy, efficiency, and empathy. Energy, as far as like, you have to gas up your crew, like whoever you're working with, the boarders especially. Like, I'm a cheerleader first and foremost, because 10 times out of 10, they're better at me than me at drawing, right? Like, I mean, I'm okay at best. I would give myself that, but most of the time I'm learning from them. Like, you know, or I'm gleaning things off them, without even knowing it, like stylistic things. So that's like, energy is huge. And then efficiency is like the most important thing to me. Whereas like, what's the most economic way to make this joke work or make this story happen? And that comes from being a writer boarder, you know what I mean? Because you don't have time to to be grandiose or embellish or have the camera pan in a 360 degree thing just so the character can say banana, you know, whatever. Like, what's the clearest way through this thing? Also, that gives everyone else down the conveyor belt less of a hassle.
Yes.
Yeah. And it still accomplishes what we're all trying to, you know. Is it funny? Great. Anyway, and then the last thing is empathy, where it's just like, you know, like, having been through it also, I understand when think someone's like, I don't need a boarder to tell me that they're good, like they're thumbing their thing the night before they're pitching it. I get it. So if it's a little rough in places, like, that's totally fine. Or just empathy in general, like empathy for the process, empathy for coming up with the shot ideas, or empathy for just everyone else down the pipeline. Sure. You know, like, I'm not going to ask someone to design some crazy thing that wasn't scripted or wasn't in an outline just because I got an itch. It's, you know, everything should be in service of the show, but moreover, like, the people that you are doing this with. So that's my philosophy for directing in general.
That's so good. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's important to me. Like, especially when, like, I don't know, everyone I've ever worked with for boards, like, they're all so good. So it's like, I'm mostly just standing back and facilitating, like, what do you guys need? Do you have too many pages? I will take a page off your hands. Do you want to bounce ideas off each other? I try to like make a little packet before a board if I get a script in enough time with just like previs ideas, because I know as a boarder, like, what that can do. Like, if you give me like if it's like, oh, in this episode, whoever is dressed like a pirate. And like, I'm like, if I'm a boarder, I'm like, well, what the fuck does that look like? To have like a quick doodle of like that character as a pirate. I'm like, oh, great. I have a starting point. I can make a quick shorthand for this so my thumbs won't take me an extra 3 days. Like it's awesome.
Yeah.
So I know what that's like. And that's where the empathy comes in, right? So like I just try my best. And like,
I relate to that a lot. I feel like that was definitely the thing where it's like being a board artist for so long and being given like so little a lot of time because everybody's like crunching, you know, like now as a director, I'm like, I'll give you some design so you don't have to think about it because it takes a lot of brain work to think about all these designs.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And on that kind of energy thing, I feel like the shows that I've liked working on least were the shows where like either there wasn't enough. I mean, it sounds weird as an artist to be like, I didn't have enough fun on that show because not enough people told me to do it, that I was doing a good job or praised me enough. But like it feels like when someone does a good job, amping them up and hyping them up and like and going into a board being like, I believe in you guys are awesome, that like it actually does really make a difference. And I've had shows.
A vote of confidence goes a long way.
And I've had things that I've been on where I didn't feel like they thought we were going to be successful or like I didn't know whether I was doing a good job or I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that goes such a long way. I feel like, I don't know, as artists, we're all kind of like, we all have our own shade of like neuroticism.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're all kind of like neurotic, so we're kind of like, it's always nice when someone's like, I see you, you're doing good.
Yeah, I mean, imposter syndrome, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have imposter syndrome, Dave?
Oh, yeah, totally. When y'all hit me up to do this, I was like, are you sure you got the right Dave Smith?
Oh, no.
No way. That's so funny. The right one, because you're so used to
this whole time we actually did realize we hit up the wrong one, and we were just like, let's just roll with it. I guess we're too polite, you know.
Oh yeah, that has happened. Where shows have meant to interview me, but they interviewed a different guy named Dave Smith. Not the Dave Smith I was speaking of before. Another Dave Smith. So, but I'm glad this is working out.
It's so funny. You talked about making zines before. What was your like? Were you always into comics? Was it just like kind of like a one-off thing? What was your kind of relationship to comics and making zines and like tabling?
I was always into comics, and like to some degree indie comics, but it was really my time on Adventure Time that like made it blossom because I was surrounded by super brilliant comics makers, right? Like,
yes.
So like, I'm just like, I think it's like through osmosis, you just start to absorb like that energy.
Mm-hmm.
And that was definitely a time when a lot of comic artists were coming into animation anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it just became something that I really started getting into. So, and making friends with these people and having colleagues that are up to the same thing, you just start doing it. So I would just like collect drawings or little things here and there. And then I tabled at Ape in like 2010, which was awesome. And I shared a table with like another buddy from Adventure Time. And then I tabled at Cala.
Yeah, Cala rocks. I'm so glad they're back. Are you?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, did you go last year?
Yes, I visited. I went to this last one. It was like, wow, this is beautiful. I love this. I'm going to spend too much money. Oh no.
Yeah, it's always like this. It's so funny.
Take my money.
Yeah. I try now to like bring something to trade or like have enough to trade because I love trading. And it's like, I don't know, like there's I guess we had on the podcast here, Alex Crocus, who made a little like 4-panel comic about like conventions, how like every artist is like giving each other the same $5 bill because we're all like buying each other's stuff.
That is too true.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it's fun to be part of the community and to be like, I don't know.
No,
Yeah, for when I don't know what it was like for you when you got to table at Kella, but when because I tabled last year, and when I finally got the table, I was like, "Oh, I made it! I'm a real indie comic artist now."
That's awesome.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Like,
mean, like, I still feel the biggest imposter syndrome when I'm there because I'm like, oh, I'm just a cartoon guy, playing at it. But like for like, so I try to set myself apart a little bit. Like, so I think like Cala 2015, I did a comic about a little like alien guy that tries to relate to some cats, so he makes a cat mask to like blend in with them. So I made paper mache cat masks to sell with the comics.
oh, that's cool.
And I only made like five of them, maybe, but I sold all of them, which was great.
Yeah.
So like I guess that's another like that was a pre hobby crafting thing. I was really into paper mache for a while. But yeah, like so I tried to set myself apart in that way, not just making because I'm like, oh, everyone else's comics and zines are far more like whatever, poignant or draftsmanship is better or whatever. And I know it's like not a great no one's competing with each other. It's just, you know, I'm just competing with myself, but like uh it's hard not to with such
Mm-hmm.
like mega talents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
it's hard to I think especially because it's your thing, it's like, oh, it's entirely me and I'm putting this out there. It's hard not to compare yourself for sure. But
yeah.
Have you felt any has anybody have you noticed anybody treat you a little bit differently when they find out you're in animation? Because I've heard a little bit of like comics people don't take animation people that enter into comics very seriously. So I was curious if that's ever been a case for you.
No, not to my not to my
Well, that's
face.
good.
Like, no, like every person that I've like known or been advised by or whatever that you know where we work together, but
Yeah,
they were a comics person first. Nothing but open
it's
arms,
awesome.
and like really good advice, and also just like practical advice on like how to construct a comic, or like all that kind of stuff. And it is a great thing to, I mean, this used to be the case like decades ago. So I can say this, I'm sure there's a statute of limitations. I would print like my prints like at work. Like,
mm. Dude, so many Adventure Time people did that. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you have to take advantage of it. Like when you're at work, what is it?
yeah,
Boss makes a dollar, I make a dime. I'm gonna print my comics on company time. Like you
wow.
Oh,
gotta
there's a rhyme for it.
there's a rhyme, but you can put
That's amazing.
whatever you want before company time. You could just do whatever you could put whatever you want
Yeah,
down.
like if I get my work done, I mean, I would bring my own like cardstock and stuff. I was just using their ink,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because you can bring it's just like the printers they have, they're so good. I mean, I've done that at Sony too. I've used their printers, they're awesome.
yeah.
And I've
And
used
I,
their like like quality paper because it's like sometimes they're like in the trash. I saw like they were throwing out like perfectly good paper in the trash. I was like, yoink.
yeah. See, you were really doing them a favor. You were
Yeah. Yeah, I'm eco-friendly, lowering their carbon footprint. Yeah.
yeah, totally.
Not all heroes wear capes, you
It's
know?
true.
Some wear pajama pants to
And
work. No, I've worn pajama pants to work, and taken paper from work.
Oh,
I've taken paper from work and not printed on it. I just took paper from work. I just took paper.
you have no intention of using it for anything. It's
I just took
what's
that
it
paper and I was like, I need some paper, and they're not here, and I'll take. They have a million paper, and I'll take some paper.
what's
yeah,
the
it's on
craziest thing
principle.
you guys have taken from work?
Nothing like criminal. Or you
No.
know, I'm trying to think. Like I don't. I mean, I had a real rough phase for a while. Like where I was like sleeping on bean bags at work and shit like that. Like, so
Hmm.
I'm trying to think like, did I do anything like nefarious then? I did have to like after I was done at CN, I did use a friend's key card to go into the studio to print zines.
Hell yeah.
Like I was walking around and people were like, I thought you ended like a month and a half ago.
You're like,
yeah. And also I was like, I'm sober, but at the time I wasn't. And I was on like, I don't take Adderall or anything, but I was on like half an Adderall, and I was zonked out of I was cracked out. I was completely in another world. So I'm like, all wide-eyed, running around the studio thinking I'm being sneaky. Totally not. But everyone was like, it's fine, no one cares. Like some guy from another production like said, is this yours? And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna get arrested. I have to make a flight to San Francisco in 2 hours. And he was like, is this yours? I'm like, yes. And he was like, this is great, come here. And then he's like talking to me about like the zine. I was like, oh, thank God, no one gives a shit. It's all in my head. But I don't think I've ever taken anything, fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, we're nerds. Like, what are we gonna do? Like,
yeah. I'm afraid of getting hit constantly. Like,
that's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I probably either supplies from the supply closet, like pens or something, or like it's all like practical stuff. Like or maybe like snacks. If they had like snacks in the thing, like I would take a few extra bags of snacks, I guess. But not like, hey, I'm going in and taking a Cintiq when everybody's out. Like it's not like that kind of thing.
I do have a shoebox full of like pilfered snacks. So it's like one of the first things I learned from my like board director. I went to her place once and she just had like a pantry full of pretzels from like from the I'm like, isn't that from our floor? She's like, yeah, it is. I take an extra bag, and like, and now I have snacks for people. I'm like, that's brilliant.
That's so funny.
So now I have like a shoebox that's like for movie snacks. So, little tiny Snickers or
it's so funny because I feel like if you talk to like big tech people and they're like, yeah, sure, we have all of this free stuff, we don't care. But like animation people, like right now, if you go in the Iceberg, the WB building, everyone's like, go get the snacks, they're not going to be free forever.
Yeah.
you're like with all the friggin' like yerba mate
it's
and
like
Chobani.
I'm super jealous. At Disney TV, I mean, Disney TV is fine. We get like Halloween snacks and like bananas and like tangerines or something. But like the Iceberg, I think, don't they get like hard-boiled eggs? And
they do. Oh, dude, I take these every time. Every time I go there, I take one. Dude, it's awesome because eggs are so expensive.
Yeah,
like, you're like.
That's like,
I'd love
that's
a
real
hard-boiled egg
neat.
once in a while.
That could be my son's dinner. yeah.
I need that sweet protein.
That's amazing.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't steal it, but the weirdest thing I ever got from work was I was walking by my boss's office, and for some reason someone had shipped them a whole box of fleshlights. And they were like, we're about to throw away all these fleshlights. Does anybody want a fleshlight? And I was like, I feel like it would be funny to take one. so my boss technically gifted me a fleshlight once. I don't know.
Wow. What a crew gift.
That's a weird one. Inappropriate. I'm going to get them shut down. But I went right to the police station with the fleshlight and I was like, look at this, what they did. No.
That's awesome.
So that's a weird one.
Amazing.
Wait, what hold on. Is there something that I might be missing? It's a flashlight?
No, a fleshlight is a sex toy.
Ah! Okay,
yes.
That's crazy.
And so my boss was like, "Do you want this?" And I was like, "It'd be funny of me to take this." so I did take it, but so that's a weird one.
That's crazy. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense on like for like some adult shows or whatever, like I feel like
yes.
I mean, did you do a campaign for like boxers and stuff?
I did do a campaign for boxer shorts, but they like they didn't give me like condoms as a takeaway present or something. Like usually that I think there's a line that most professional most bosses don't cross there, but no, it's funny.
Wow. Wow. I don't think I took anything crazy. I think probably the craziest thing I took was
An L.
no, it's so yeah, it's so bad. It's probably just like I just took like I probably grabbed all of the leftovers of like one Sony party or whatever. Like I was just like I just want to have
Oh
food
yeah.
for like a whole week. But you know, it's not. I can't top your story, Sean.
Well, I mean, mine's
Yeah,
weird.
Sean,
I
you
also
kind
didn't
of
steal it. Like I didn't. I like they gave it to me. But I mean,
imagine if you did.
dude, someone came in last night and stole all of my flashlights from my
A
office,
box of flashlights.
and
Oh
now
my
we're
God.
pissed. Yeah.
That's crazy. Wait, so you did papier-mâché, woodworking. Did you have any other kind of like fun hobbies before we go into the creative blog question? I
Oh
want to know
boy.
if you had
God, did I do anything else? No.
Do you have anything else interesting about you that we would normally
Not
assume?
really.
Can you speak another language?
Can you speak another language?
Not really. I can barely speak English. Oh, that's such a lame. That's like what every middle-aged guy says. I can barely speak English. No, I guess I am a simple person. So I only have like I can only play one video game at a time. Like for a long time, it was just Minecraft,
Oh yeah. Mm.
and then it was like the Soulsborne games. So I ran through all those. But like I cannot be bothered to like I could not like play two things at the same time. My brain is only good for one thing. So
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, I just I don't got
Well,
the like the pitcher can only get filled so
can you
high
work
before stuff starts
on
spilling
more than
out.
one project at the same like can you work on like a something at a studio and then work on your own personal stuff at the same time, or is it that way with that too?
Uh, wood and art and like yes, but like freelance and on top of day
Oh yeah,
job
no,
is
no.
not. It's really tough. I mean, it's just like it's. I use so much of whatever brain power I have on one thing that like I really do need to like preserve some of it for the rest of the day
Mm-hmm.
to do
Yeah.
other things. That's why I love doing woodworking because it's a completely different like creative muscle.
I think that's something that's so true. I think that's something that I'm starting to realize too. Like I love making comics and I want to do comics all the time, but I also have to have like a job in animation and I'm like it's the same. I'm doing the exact same thing twice and
It's admirable.
it's so tiring though and I'm like, ugh, I don't know.
You should sculpt
It's
comics.
Stop.
I'm so impressed by that kind of stuff. So like, don't even think that maybe it's awesome.
It is cool.
Like to have put in your 10,000 hours and then like the drive is not gone and you're like, no, I want to do more. Like I have more things to draw. I think
I
that's sweet.
sometimes I'm like, okay, how dramatic are you guys about making art? Because I was talking to a friend recently and I realized like I'm so
It's
dramatic. Literally.
Like,
I am too.
I literally was thinking when I was in the last leg of my web comic, I was like, I cannot die because my comic isn't complete. I can't die before my comic is finished. Like that's what I mean when I'm like I'm dramatic. It's like nothing can happen to me.
I have to tell
You're-
this story.
you're invested. That's all. You're just like you're.
I was, and then you think about it, you're like, that's what?
Yeah, it is. It is. I think it is also important to like for the day job stuff. Important to remind myself that like, oh, like it's just a cartoon. At the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, like it's okay. And nowadays, it's even like more of a like, well, someone's probably going to be looking at their phone half the time,
Right?
which is kind of sad, but also 100% true. So
Yeah.
like,
I actually
can't
had
get
this
too precious.
yeah, I had this conversation with one of my execs for the short I was making, and I was like, I think people are gonna watch the short on their phone,
Hmm.
and so it's gonna be so small, they're not gonna
Hmm.
see that much details, and I was like, I don't think we should spend so much like sweat and tears on these backgrounds, because they're probably not. It's most people are probably gonna see it in like a little like I don't know like 2 inches by like 4 inches type of scenario.
Yeah,
Um,
it's it's just the way things are. You got to meet people where they're at, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess everyone's is like makes backgrounds and stuff for like the super fan that pauses it and zooms in and is like, there's a mistake right here. You know what I mean? Like they're
how dare they? Every time I go to like a design review, I feel like a dog being shown a magic trick, especially when I see like BGs or BG color or character color. I'm just like, oh, how'd you do that? Like, it's I'm like that belong every time. I'm like, this belongs in a museum.
There's like
guys.
Real artists here. I forgot.
How did you do? How did you do this? Every time.
Why is no one gasping and fainting when we're looking at this? Yeah.
I just see like years of like wisdom of it and experience or like raw talent like blasted, and it's like it's the best. It's like I love seeing it every time.
Like, what if Da Vinci was a background painter and it showed like his paintings for like one second on screen, and then it went by and someone was just watching it on a phone, you know?
Yeah, it's a crying shame, but that's how it goes.
Do you ever have a creative block, David?
Sure. Gosh, when that happens, I'm trying to think. I'll admit, I listen to your podcast and I think about it sometimes. Like, what would I say? And then sometimes I'm like, what's the stupidest answer I could give? Because I feel like everyone gives really good advice, and like I've heard other like. So on some like DVD commentaries, I hear like production designers talking about it, and like some are like, I take a shower and the ions from the shower help generate, and that actually does help, taking a shower. But I think like honestly, my process for creative block is like sheer panic, anxiety attack, and then eventually calm down, sleep on it, come back to it the next day. And I know that's like so corny, but it really ends up being the only thing that like that's the best thing usually for me.
I mean, it sounds like you're wielding your negative emotions to be a positive thing, which is kind of inspiring, actually.
Oh, thank you. You gotta do something with it. I feel like that's the only way to get through it for me. I mean, and also like in a work situation, a deadline is a hell of a motivator.
Yeah.
Like a hard deadline that takes care of my creative block real quick. You know, I've had plenty of boards where like I'll do like my rough thumbs and then not have any dialogue, and then the night before like look at my drawings and then figure out what the dialogue will be then. Which is the wrong way to do it. You should definitely beat it out, write the script, and then board to it, because that is much smarter. But once again, I'm not smart, so like sometimes I'm like, well, I'm just going to start drawing stuff and see what happens.
It's amazing.
And, you know, like gotta go through it, not around it or whatever. Is that the right? I don't know what the saying is. But yeah, so generally, if I don't have a deadline, sleeping on it helps a ton, because, you know, with creative things in general, if like the idea is in my head, it's always going to be marinating, whether I want it to or not, a lot of the time. So like with woodworking, I would fall asleep thinking about the things I wanted to do the next day with regards to making my nightstands, or like, all right, the next step is doing this and doing that and gluing this or gluing that, sawing this. Like I would demystify the process so that way I would not be as blocked as I would be or was like hours before. And it kind of is the same with boards and stuff like that. Like once I read something, I'm already thinking about what's like, if it's a joke or anything like that, I'm already thinking about like, what's the funniest way to get to this? And a lot of times it doesn't come at all until animatics, right? Like, or it comes at like with someone mentioned something super dumb. I think it's about being open.
Yes.
Which I know is also kind of corny, but also very true. Which is also why sleeping on it helps, because if you sleep on something, get up the next day, and then like someone passing by says something that like triggers like the answer.
Right.
Like, oh, that was it. So
I think
that's usually how I deal with it.
Yeah, it's so hard to allow oneself to be okay with it taking time. I think with the creative process is definitely something. I don't know if we've really like talked about that a lot on the podcast, but I feel like sometimes you just need time, and it can be scary because it's like the deadline is like right there and you're
Mm-hmm.
not doing anything and you're like,
Yeah.
ah, but there's kind of like no way around it. Like you said, you have to like sleep on it, or like kind of be really open to your environment, to all this like external stimuli that you could maybe use and put in there, and that's gonna unlock everything.
Dude, especially
You
with
know?
funny stuff. It is
Yeah.
hard to
Mm-hmm.
force funny stuff. And
Yeah.
and it's more like all right, I guess I just got to allow myself to have time to sit with it and be just try to work it out and give as much time as I can towards it. But yeah, dude, it's hard to force the funny.
Yeah.
Yes. It's I think it's like that. That's kind of impossible. But you know, you could always just make the character like cross-eyed, and then it's
Hey!
like, hey-o. I mean, that's I will default to making someone to make a character like a little wall-eyed or something like, or give them raptor mouth or
Or a fart. Fart always works.
oh yeah, my sister's a school teacher, and when I was on Adventure Time, I went to her school, and like she teaches like third grade or something, and like I was basically like, I'm going to show everyone in the class like how cartoons are made. So I brought like a storyboard template, and I brought like a bunch of blank fin heads, you know, like the circle with nothing in it. And I was like, can you guys draw? You guys can draw anything you want in here. And like it was great because one girl in there was like so not into, she could give two shits about Adventure Time. And she was like, can I draw iCarly instead? And I was like, please draw iCarly.
Oh.
But anyways, it was speaking of farts. I asked, like, I took a poll. I'm like, so what do you guys want to see in cartoons? Like, what's your favorite thing? And the three favorites were flying, farting, and ninjas.
Interesting. Farting is so up there, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Listen, I remember thinking farts were the funniest thing on earth when I was
I
a
mean,
child.
they still get me. So I'm
Good.
not made of stone, you know.
If the timing's right, like if it like surprises you, it can be really good.
Well, I think that the best thing about a fart joke is that a lot of the I really like jokes that catch you off guard in a way where you don't have time to think about whether like this is too stupid to laugh at or not. Like it surprises you, and it's one of those like belly laughs that I feel like are really satisfying, but it also makes you like kind of disappointed in yourself about like I shouldn't laugh at something like that. Like I really like jokes like that make you self-reflect and feel bad about yourself.
You love to feel bad about yourself.
Well, no, just like feel bad. Like I thought I was more mature than to laugh at that.
like I know better.
Yeah, I know better than to laugh at a fart joke. I'm an intelligent adult, and then sometimes just catches you off guard, and you do a big laugh at a stupid joke, dude. I like those.
I do not have that issue personally. I will probably always laugh at a pee pee poo poo joke. I don't know. It's just it's a primal thing. We all do it.
We all do it. And something else that we always do on this podcast,
is end
unfortunately, is end it.
Wow, that was like a hell of a segue.
That's a crazy segue.
It's like you've been doing this for 300 episodes or something. That was incredible.
I'm insane. Somebody look me up.
Wow.
I just like sometimes I'm like, all right, I gotta try to. Nope, whatever.
See, that's like something else that sometimes you walk away from work is sometimes the thing that I stole from this work is a laugh or two. And that's our last minute of the episode. We're gonna end it.
That was incredible. That was like a magic trick.
I was like, you're not prepared for this one. No, but is there anything that you want to plug before we go?
No, like not really. Watch Primos on Disney TV. It's an incredible show. Everyone worked really hard on it. The things I'm working on now are like promos, so it'd be like doing a plug for a promo.
Promos for Primos.
Promos for Primos. Nothing particularly. Listen to this episode of Creative Block, but I guess if you're hearing this, you already did.
Yeah, we'll use that to advertise the episode. We'll use that little clip.
Yeah. You should use the segue.
No,
we're gonna put the segue for the end of the podcast. We're putting that at the beginning of the podcast as the cold open.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Crazy.
Oh my god.
All right.
I want to give a quick shout out to our listeners. Follow us on social media at CRTV Block, where we ask for drawing prompts and questions to ask our guests. Huge thanks to our editor Clements for editing the podcast, Marco for helping us produce the show, and Ibuka for creating the short clips we've been putting out.
If you love our show, you can support us on Patreon. Becoming a patron gets you early access to interviews, access to our Discord community. We also are now putting the second half of the episode for patrons only, mostly because it helps with the algorithm to have shorter episodes. Another great way you can support us is to like for free. You could just like comment, like, subscribe, all these great things. Also, if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, you can leave us a review. And that really helps getting more eyes and ears on us. So,
and send us a video of you filming yourself yelling our podcast name at a stranger, and that's our street team out there spreading the good word.
Don't do it, please don't do it.
Send it to me. Do it. Actually, do it.
Click the link in the description of the episode to follow David's socials and to find our Patreon. I've been your host,
and I was Sean. Keep being creative, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.